The wind cuts across a frozen valley. A lone Neanderthal watches smoke rise into the gray sky. He doesn't know it yet. His people are living through their final generations. For hundreds of thousands of years, Neanderthals survived where few humans could. They hunted giant mammals. They endured brutal winters. They mastered landscapes covered in snow and ice. Europe was their home long before our ancestors arrived. But one day, another kind of human stepped into their world. We call them Homo sapiens. They looked similar. They walked the same way. They laughed, feared, and loved. Yet something about them was different. That difference would change history for.
The old story began to fall apart. Every new discovery revealed a different kind of Neanderthal. Not a brute, not a failure, but a remarkably capable human relative. In a cave in Iraq known as Shanidar Cave, archaeologists uncovered one of the most famous Neanderthal skeletons ever found. The man had survived devastating injuries. His right arm was badly damaged. One eye may have been blind. His legs showed signs of severe trauma. Yet he lived for many years after those injuries. He could not have survived alone. Someone gathered food for him. Someone protected him through harsh winters. Someone chose compassion over survival of the fittest. That discovery forced scientists to rethink everything. Neanderthals were not simply surviving. They were caring. Evidence from other sites tells the same story. Stone tools became more specialized over thousands of years. Different tools served different purposes. Some cut meat, others stripped animal hides.
The answer may never be completely certain. Ancient history rarely leaves perfect evidence. Every fossil is only one page from a much larger story. Yet those scattered pages are beginning to form a clearer picture. Neanderthals were not standing still while modern humans advanced. They adapted. They experimented. They survived against incredible odds. So why did one species remain while the other disappeared? One possibility begins with simple mathematics. Small populations are fragile. Imagine a village with only 50 people. A harsh winter arrives. Food becomes scarce.
History often remembers only the survivors. But survival does not always mean superiority. Sometimes it simply means being in the right place at the right time, or making one small advantage count. By about 40,000 years ago, the last known Neanderthal communities had disappeared from Europe. The caves they once called home slowly fell silent. Campfires burned for the final time. Stone tools were left where their owners dropped them. Snow covered their footprints, then erased them forever. For thousands of years, no one knew they had ever existed. Everything changed in 1856. Workers digging in Germany's Neander Valley uncovered strange ancient bones. At first, nobody understood what they had found. Some believed the skeleton belonged to a diseased modern human. Others thought it was the remains of a soldier. Years of scientific...
The more we learn about Neanderthals, the harder they become to define. They were not monsters. They were not failures. They were not simply prehistoric versions of us. They were another kind of human. Close enough to become family. Different enough to follow their own path. Every new fossil rewrites another chapter. Every improvement in DNA technology uncovers another forgotten connection. Scientists continue exploring caves that have remained untouched for tens of thousands of years. Hidden beneath layers of soil may be discoveries that completely change this story again. Imagine if tomorrow researchers uncovered an entire Neanderthal village. Imagine preserved tools, food,
Our work, even footprints frozen in ancient mud. How much of what we believe would survive that discovery? History is never finished. It is constantly being rewritten. Perhaps the greatest lesson from the Neanderthals has nothing to do with extinction. It is about humility. For centuries, humans placed themselves at the center of history. We imagined evolution as a ladder.
Neanderthals shaped the world more than most people realize. They passed on genes that still exist inside millions of people today. Some of those genes helped our ancestors survive unfamiliar diseases. Others helped adapt to colder climates and changing environments. Modern science continues uncovering new pieces of that inheritance. The story is still unfolding. Every new fossil, every new DNA sequence, every new archaeological discovery adds another sentence to humanity's oldest story. Perhaps the greatest mistake we ever made was believing Neanderthals were completely different from us. The evidence suggests something far more remarkable. They laughed around campfires. They protected their children. They mourned their dead.